Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to be making a gift basket full of items people will want for the holidays. So let's get into the video. The first gift idea we're going to be making is this farmer's market tote. This was one of my favorite projects I made in this video. I also want to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to be making a ton of these really great ideas using my Cricut machine. So I'm going to be using some white smart iron-on along with a tote bag from Walmart, and it was under $3. So yes, a Cricut is an investment. A Cricut is something that you can create many different DIYs with. I'm going to be showing you throughout this video, but it's a great way to customize and personalize gifts for holidays or just any time of year. I love using my Cricut. I made my kids' Halloween costumes this year with them. I've made t-shirts, especially because some t-shirts for schools are really expensive and I can make them for under $10. So I just went to the Cricut design space on here and I just found an image that said farmer's market. So once we size it, it's ready to go. We do want to make sure we mirror our image. So when we use the iron-on, it faces the way that you want it to. You do not want it to be backwards. You do not want that to happen at all. So always make sure you mirror your image. So I am using the Cricut Maker 3 for this one. I love this because you can use smart materials. You don't always have to use a Cricut mat. And that has to be one of my favorite things about this machine. I love this smart material. Also, you can make really large items with this as well. And I think that is super fun. So it doesn't just have to be stuck to that 12 by 12. You can make it larger than that. So right now it's just cutting out. And then once that is done, I'm using my Cricut weeding tool to weed my iron-on. And iron-on material is super fun to weed. I just think because it comes off so quickly and the material is just like a soft, fun material. I love weeding any type of iron. I think it's the most fun to do, and it always comes out really nice and really perfect. I didn't do anything too small and tedious when it came to this one, but anyways, that just had to throw that out there that it is just one of my favorite things to weed. So once the fun part was done, I did just flip it over on to my tote. And like I said, this tote was under $3, which I think is a really great gift idea. So even if you weren't making a gift basket, like I will be later on, you're going to see how everything is put together in a basket. I think this is just a really fun thing. So I also use my Cricut heat press, and then I just go to the Cricut heat guide and you can type in what kind of material and what you are going to be ironing onto, and it tells you exactly how the temp along with how long you have to keep it on for. Next project, I'll be making these mugs. I am super excited because I'm going to be using Cricut Infusible ink, which is one of my favorites to use, along with their mug press. So I just went into Cricut Design Space and I went to the sidebar and clicked on projects, and then I typed cow mugs. So I knew this pattern was already here because this is something that I really wanted to make. So luckily I did not have to make my own. Right here, it is going to have to be on a mat because I am using infusible ink, and I don't think they have the smart material yet with infusible ink, but I'm just going to be making 2 different mugs. So right here, it's already ready to go in the little mug area, or it shows exactly where it's going to cut out for a mug on mat. Once you're almost done, make sure you mirror this image as well. And honestly, I don't think with cow print, it really would have mattered if I wouldn't have mirrored the image, but since it's infusible ink, it's pretty similar to iron-on, except this infusible ink almost just bleeds through your item, so it doesn't have that like vinyl feel to it. Infusible ink is so much fun to use. I do not use it enough. So it looks brown on the mat, which the first time I used this, I was a little iffy, but it does turn out black. So it turns out darker than what it looks on the sheet. So I am just putting it on the mat, and then I am going to feed it into my Cricut machine, and I'm going to cut out 2 different pieces for 2 different mugs. once I was done, I am just pulling this out of the machine. This is what it looks like. And then I am going to be tearing these both apart. With infusible ink, I always try to pull the mat off the infusible ink sheet instead of the other way around, just so it doesn't curl as bad. It really didn't matter here because I was just going to be taking off of that pattern or that cut piece anyways. And infusible ink is kind of a thicker, like crustier material if you have never used it. And it is pretty easy to weed as well. It looks like I was struggling here, but it really wasn't that bad once you got that first piece out. I'm using a fun new weeding set. I really needed a new tool. So I will link everything in the description box below that I did use. So if you guys just want to start using Cricut, or do you have a Cricut and you want to make some of these really fun gift ideas for your family or friends or coworkers, these are some of the most inexpensive DIYs you could possibly make. So like I said before, a Cricut is an investment, but once you've already paid the price, you can make such great gift baskets for under $20. And if you have a ton of people to buy for or shop for, it will definitely pay for itself in the long run. So once that was all good to go, I did just wrap my piece, or my infusible ink piece, around a mug. I am using the Cricut mugs off of their website. With Cricut infusible ink, it is only compatible with Cricut blanks, but I have tried to fit and use other items and just to experiment and see if it does work. I will say sometimes there is a trial and error, so definitely recommend just to use the Cricut products with infusible ink. So all you have to do is put your mug in here, and then you push the lever down, and the button at the top will start blinking, and then it will just go off and beep at you when it is finished. I did time these out, and it does take about 7 minutes per mug, but I just walked away from this, so it was a pretty easy thing to do. Like, you could just go have lunch, you could just go watch part of your movie, and you'd hear that. I did wait until these were fully cooled down because I did not want to burn myself. And then now I'm just peeling this off, and look how amazing these are. This hands down would be a great gift idea. So if someone loves making mugs, I highly recommend to get them a mug press. This was probably one of the coolest things that I have ever used. I'm throwing in this gift basket is this paddle board, or this cutting board. I picked up that cutting board for $3 at Dollar General. It's 50% off. And then now I'm just looking up images. This says cow. So I just typed in cow in the images in design space. Found this one that was circular with little cow prints. I thought this one was absolutely adorable. So I did end up having to size it down. So I always grab my measuring tape or have a ruler on hand. So I always measure. And then you do want to attach. So I had to go back in here. I did not want to cut these separately. So I just went down, selected the cow and the footprints, and pushed attach at the bottom. So everything would cut out together. So no mirroring here because we are just making a quick little vinyl image, and it is going to be with the Smart Removable Vinyl. So I just click that and then start going on my project. So I also love just using vinyl. You can make so many fun customizable items with this. You can make so many gift ideas. You can just make a ton of DIYs. Like, I'm going to be making this cute little cutting board for just over $4. So if you're going to include the material, this material, it does go a long way if you're making some smaller projects. You can make a ton of ornaments with this, which I did kind of think about making an ornament with or for my gift basket. But honestly, if this was going to be a Christmas gift basket idea, nobody really wants Christmas items. And I was thinking about that really hard when I was making this video, that what can I make for somebody that they would really love? And my family loves farmhouse decor. I love farmhouse decor. So this was a really fun video to make because I was actually able to also make items that I truly enjoyed making for people as well, knowing that they would like it too. So back to my little story. nobody wants Christmas stuff for Christmas. Like, ornaments are really cute and they're really special, and I always make one, or my kids always make one for my mom every year for Christmas because it's special. It's something she can keep on her Christmas tree. But I feel like if you're making somebody a gift basket, they don't want a Christmas mug, or they don't want, I mean, and this could possibly just, I mean, it's also my opinion on that, but if you know they like Farmhouse, make them Farmhouse decor. They will love it. And I didn't pay full price for any of these items. Once I weeded my piece, I just actually had to take a ton of different pieces of transfer tape. That's why it looks a little bubbly. Normally it would not look like this, but I did not have enough transfer tape for this larger piece. I cannot believe it. I had really strong bond transfer tape that was not cutting the image, or was not letting me remove the image. So I did just have to piece a bunch of transfer pieces together. So that's kind of why it looks the way it does, but it turned out just fine. I did have to put a couple little cow feet prints back on there because they just were not coming off, but it's not really a big deal when you're just adding a couple things. Sometimes letters don't come off for me, and eventually you will get it to work, and you couldn't even tell that, you know, I was having issues whatsoever, and I was just kind of pushing them all down, making sure I didn't have any bubbles, and that is it for this. This one, I'm making some fun little tea towels. This one says Farm Fresh Honey, life is better on the farm, with a chicken and with a bee on the other one. These towels came from Dollar General, and they were 50% off when I purchased them, so they were only $1 a piece, so a $2 gift. And they're super cute. So anyways, we're going to go into searching on images. So first I just wanted farm animals because this is a farmhouse basket, but when I came across those bees, something has me when it comes to bees. They are so beautiful. I love these images. Cricut has so many images on their design space. I mean, if you chose to make your own, that is amazing. I am not as creative when it comes to that, so I love just looking on these images and using what is on here. So I wanted the bee, I wanted the chicken as well. Sizing them down, you did see in the beginning that I had my little ruler out so I know exactly what size. So these as well, on the right hand side, you can tell that nothing is going to be attached to each other. So I did end up just selecting these and attaching so they would both cut out at the same time. Obviously, when you attach two different images, it doesn't mean that you have to cut them out or have them in the same project. You just cut around them and it works just fine. So this one has to be on a mat. I am using a larger one just because that's all I had on hand. I am mirroring these images as well. So do not forget to mirror when you're using iron-on or infusible ink. And then I am just browsing the images or browsing the materials to make sure that I have infusible ink on here because we're going to use infusible ink. I think infusible ink works great when you're using towels or any sort of image, even if you're using t-shirts, just because you know it's like in the material versus like on the outer side. So I'm just going to be weeding these per usual as I did with all of the other projects. And then we'll be using the Easy Press. I have a 9x9 Easy Press to put these on the towel. I'm also going to be using the heat resistant transfer tape, or it's not transfer tape, the heat resistant tape on these, just to make sure when I add my Easy Press on top that these do not move. And I did do these towels one at a time, and I do have the heat set at 385, and I want to say it was 45 or 50 seconds, but I will link the Cricut heat guide in the description box below for you guys because I use that for absolutely anything. I could not remember what the heat or temp or time setting I would possibly need for any of these projects if it wasn't for that. It is absolutely amazing. So this one came off so nicely, and my chicken did not turn out as best as I wanted it to, but like I said, infusible ink is only compatible with Cricut blanks, but I love testing it out on dollar store items just to see if it works, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So definitely recommend, like I said, again, to use the Cricut blanks with your infusible ink. DIY we'll be making is some coasters. I love these ceramic coasters from the Cricut website, and they do work with infusible ink. So I went back into my Cricut design space, images, and typed farmhouse. So I loved the farm with the arrows. It really caught my eye, and I decided that I had to use it. So for here, I probably made this a little more tricky than I had to, but I decided to also use a shape here just to make sure that the farm size was correct on the coasters. So I did notice that the projects in Design Space, when I was looking up coasters, was a 3 by 2 or 3.2 inches by 3.2 inches. So I wanted to make sure that that was my circle, and then I just kind of added that farm in there and sized it down to make sure that it fit inside that circle. Once that was done, I did just delete that circle. It was only for, I was only trying to see the size that I would need for that farm piece. So now I'm just going to go and duplicate it on the right hand side. It says duplicate. So I did it 4 times because I wanted 4 of the same coasters. I was going to do 4 different ones, decided not to, because if it's a gift for somebody, like, do they really want all different coasters in their home, or they kind of want everything kind of similar to each other? I wasn't really sure, but I did attach them all and then attached all of them just to make sure they would cut out this way. I am going to go on the mat once again and also mirror your image when you're using infusible ink. And then I did not have my device connected, so it did not show up on there. So always make sure you have your device connected to your computer. Once that was done, I thought I would need that heat resistant tape. So that's why you see it next to me. And then I realized I did not need that at all. This worked just good. Use the parchment paper, the butcher paper that the infusible ink came with. Pull these off when they were dry. Look how crisp and clean and beautiful these are. I am super excited and obsessed with the way these turned out. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I also hope it gave you some great ideas to give for gifts. I think people will absolutely love these. And who does not love a good homemade gift? This is what my gift basket looks like when it is completely done. What do you guys think? If you guys liked this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, I would love you to consider sticking around and subscribing. That is it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.